You're watching a brand new episode of Stuffies, followed by the Weekday Report, only on RHN, where Stuffies are cultivated.
Stuffies! Come on, let's go, Stuffies! RHN, wow, Stuffies! This can't be for Stuffies! Oh yeah, Stuffies! Yeah!
Walking down the street. No! Oh my, what's going on? Oh, Poober. Oh, it's just awful, terrible, and awful. What's going on? Oh, look, the honey. Yeah, I see the honey. Yeah, but it doesn't look the same. Doesn't it look stickier and harder to you? Well, actually, when I look closer at it, it does. I better go open the top of the can to see if anything happened. Maybe somebody accidentally punctured it. Oh, dear. Oh, see anything yet? Oh, no, I'm just popping open the lid. Oh, dun, dun, dun. Oh, what is it? What did you find? Well, as I suspected, somebody punched a huge hole in the top of the lid. Well, I wonder who that could have been. Really? Oh, all right, it was me. I was so desperate for the honey, and the lid wouldn't open on its own, so I jumped on top of the jar and punched through the metal lid with my own bare paws. Really? Because that story doesn't seem consistent with the holes I'm finding. Even if you could punch through this lid with your bare paws, it would be a wide hole. And these seem to indicate something sharper and thinner. All right, I didn't use my bare paws. I used a knife. I thought so. Hi. But while you were enjoying the thick, decadent honey at the time, what you didn't think about was future oxygenation. What's oxygenation? Well, oxygenation is the process of something being exposed to a lot of oxygen for a long time. I see, due to this tinfoil covering over here, that you tried to cover your tracks. Well, I did, and it worked. Well, sorta. But in between the time that you broke into the jar and put the tinfoil on it, the honey oxygenated. It absorbed a lot of oxygen, which circulated around the jar for a long period of time, evaporating all the moisture and slowly but surely making the honey hard. So, essentially, it's now hard, sticky candy. What? But I can't eat this. I was always eating honey. Oh, wait, don't the stuffed and reserves have backup? Well, yeah, but that was the honey we were counting on for the winter. You see, honey is out of season right now, and all the bees that produce it are either hibernating or, well, dead. So I suspect we won't be getting in a shipment of honey until late March and early April. What? But that's almost 3 months away! Yes, you could hibernate till then. But I'd miss so much stuff. The trips, the holidays. Yeah, and the deadline for hibernation was November. So we'll have to resort to the next best option, maple syrup. But maple syrup? That wet, sticky syrup? Yeah. I prefer honey any day. Really? Have you ever tried maple syrup before? Well, no. But I'm still not sure. Well, you could either do that, or you could get a spoon and start scraping off this honey candy stick delicious thing to eat. I'll take my chances with the maple. Alright, you see, maple syrup comes from the tree sap of deciduous maple trees. You see, the trees produce sap so they can produce new leaves in the spring. But some of this sap is runoff, and it collects right under the bark. And that's just exactly what we tap for. You mean tap, like when they put a hollow peg into the bark of the tree and drain the syrup into the bucket? Exactly. And like our friends at Soak Up Farms over here have been doing for 3 generations now, they go out into the woods, they tap the trees, they boil it down slowly but surely. They grade it for sweetness, check it for sanitary issues anyway. They bottle it and send it right to us. Another high point of maple syrup is the consumption. We've had that jar of honey for over 3 years now, and only you've been consuming it. But we've had this maple syrup jar for a little over a month, I'd say. And already 2/3 of it are gone, mostly consumed for pancakes and French toast. But that's just how delicious it is. Finally, maple syrup doesn't have any sweeteners, no hidden salts or sugars, and no preservatives. The only ingredient on the ingredient list is pure grade A New York maple syrup. So, here you go. I encourage you to give it a try. Well, I guess I've got nothing to lose. Wow, this maple syrup tastes delicious. Yeah, see? It's delicious, nutritious, and most of all, naturally sourced. Wow, maybe this maple syrup thing isn't so bad after all. I'm glad you've come around. Well, I gotta go. See you later, Poober. Thanks for showing me maple syrup, Reino. No problem. I wonder what else I could use maple syrup for. First test. White plain bread. Here we go. Alright, yeah. There we go. Alright, let's see how this tastes. That tastes great. Let's see what else I can put it on.
Hey, Poober, I got this pepper cracker for you. I think you might like it.
Okay. Why would I like this exactly?
Because the carbohydrates are good for you. Well, dig in, my friend. I'll give you a little bit of privacy so you can eat your food.
Good for me, not in this bland state. Time for some maple syrup. There we go. Alright, the big pour. That looks good. Now, the big taste. Oh, that was good. Now time for the big sip. Oh, wait, Poober. Oh, hey, Reino. I was just about to take a sip from this cup, but if you want some, there's plenty to go around. Actually, I would not like some, and to be honest, I think you've had too much already. But you're the one who pitched maple syrup to me. You said that it didn't have any preservatives of any kind. Well, that's true. And that it didn't have any added sugars or salts. Well, I admit, while it may be true that maple syrup doesn't have any added sugars, what it does have is a lot of natural sugars derived from the maple syrup itself, which is why, in part, the syrup is so sweet. But it can also give you high blood pressure and heart problems in the future if you consume it in the large quantities which you're consuming in it right now, but it really depends on how bad the problem becomes. Well, yeah, but isn't this maple syrup around all types of the year? You can just go up to Soak Up Farms to purchase it. Poober, well, to answer that, let me ask you this. How long did it take for us to drive up to Soak Up Farms? 2.5 hours. And how many dollars did it cost to get that syrup? Well, over 30. I was there, and so were you, Reino. Exactly. That syrup, maple syrup, is hard to get, and Soak Up Farms is one of the few people who provides it naturally. We could just buy it here in the city, but if you want to get the same quality and no added sugars, you gotta travel. And that takes time, energy, and of course, a lot of money. Yes, but doesn't Stufton have a lot more in the reserves? Well, actually, that's my third argument. About that 1/3 of the jar you're slowly draining out, that's what Stufton will have to live off of in terms of maple syrup for the rest of January. It snowed over this weekend, and the roads might not be clear until late January. So for now, that third of a jar that you're slowly draining, that is what Stufton has to live off of. And for the convenience of other Stuffies having maple syrup whenever they need it, and without you drinking it all up and getting yourself sick, I'm instituting a strict maple eating regimen. No more than, I'd say, like 2 pints a day. 2 pints, that's a lot. 2 milliliters, I mean. Oh, well, I guess that's fair. We wouldn't want every other Stuffy and Stufton to get mad because I drank up all their maple syrup and they barely got to use any. Still, I guess it's back to the maple syrup eating regimen and moping around until honey comes back. Well, actually, I have a food that I think you might like. And it goes great with this. What is it? Rolled oats and milk. Come on, I'll show you. Alright, let's roll. Woohoo!
Why do I feel like this isn't gonna work?
Hey Poober, why are you staring down at that medicine cup? Oh, hey Reino. I'm sad because this medicine cup is devoid of my 2 favorite liquids, honey and maple syrup. Well, the Stufton maple syrup supply has been down for months, and to be honest, you had a part in doing that. Yes, I know, but those are my favorite foods. Ever since the honey went bad, all I've had to survive on are maple syrup and those honey packs from our last trip. To be honest, I think those are fake. Yeah, and they taste horrible, but it's what I've had to eat. Now with the maple syrup gone, when those honey packs expire, I don't think I'll survive the winter. What? Well, why don't you just eat fish and berries like Clyde? He eats those all the time, and he's crazy fit. Well, I will survive the winter literally, just not in a happy emotional state. Oh, I see. Well, can't you just wait for the next syrup arrival? I can't wait. The wait's just too long. It could be months from now, and I have no way of keeping myself fed. Well, satisfied. Well, actually, speaking of syrup supply runs, I'm going up for one to Stufton's main syrup provider, Soak Up Farms, tomorrow. Maybe you'd like to come along. Actually, you could see how your maple syrup is made. Your favorite food. Honey is my favorite food, but maple syrup is a close runner-up. Okay, well, how your second favorite food is made. Well, alright. I guess I have nothing else to lose. As long as it'll fill my medicine cup. Oh, hey, Reino. I'm really excited to go on this trip to see how maple syrup is made. Well, it was a pretty long hop out here, but I made it. We're probably going to go down a few blocks anyway. Actually, you're probably going to need this. Wait, what is this? A jacket. It gets pretty cold up there. I guess it does. Whoa. But why is this bag here?
Hey guys, I was just taking a nap in here, and all of a sudden I was inside this car.
It looks like you're coming along with us, Chico. Wait. How long is this trip? Well, didn't you know, Poober? It's 2.5 hours. We have calculators in there to play the license plate game, books, all kinds of stuff that keeps us entertained. Oh, man. Well, how could this get any more tedious?
Oh, and also, I packed my can of beans just in case. It'll be all good for the road.
This is gonna be a long drive.
Put a bucket of champagne on your nightstand. Experience with someone who won't any lifespan.
Well, we're here, I think. Ugh, that was a really long drive, and it smelled pretty bad in there. Yeah, I have to admit, I kind of had a part in doing that.
Ugh. Well, we're finally here. Come on, around the car.
Whoa, look at this. The maple syrup.
It looks all syrupy.
It looks like it's just in its first stage, sap. It'll take a while until this is boiled down into a maple syrup.
Yikes, I'm really hot. Yeah, maybe we should go and meet the owner. Mark, come on. Should be around here somewhere. Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, guys. This is my friend, Mark Sokup. He and Jennifer Sokup. They own the farm. Oh, wow. Very nice to meet you. This is my friend, Poober.
Yeah, good to meet you.
So, you promised us a tour, I see.
Yeah, absolutely.
My friend Poober here wants to see how his second favorite food, maple syrup, is made.
Second favorite?
Yeah, we're kind of running out of it and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Tico, you mind holding down the fort while we're gone?
Sure.
All right, then. Let's get on with that tour.
All right.
All right, so how does this maple syrup start out, Mark?
All right, so obviously maple syrup starts with maple sap from a maple tree. So we get that through what's called a tap. You drill a small hole into the tree, you put the tap into it, and that's connected to a series of tubes and everything, just like you saw down the road here, right?
Yeah, those are pretty extensive.
Yep, so we have about 2,800 taps.
Whoa!
So, yeah, it's a lot, and that's, that equals about 18 to 19 miles of tubing in the woods that we use.
That's as far as from here to Pauling, New York. Oh, that's a long distance.
That is true.
But my question is, how does all that tree sap get into maple syrup?
All right.
Do you add a lot of flavorings to it?
Nope, there's nothing added.
Wow.
So what we do is we gather all that sap once it's collected in the big tanks out in the woods, and we bring it here in a big truck tank that we've got, and we pump it into this big tank right here. And that tank holds about 1,500 gallons of sap at a time.
1,500 gallons?
Yep.
Hey, not even Poober could eat that many, and he's notorious for loving sap. Wow, so what happens next?
So once we've got the sap collected, we put it into this tank. It's kind of a holding tank where everything sits for a while until we can process it. And then from there, what we do is put it through what's called a reverse osmosis machine. And that's right inside. So that actually separates some of the water out of the sap and gives it a higher sugar content.
All right, we're here at this weird reverse osmosis machine. So what does it do?
So the reverse osmosis machine separates the water from the sugar in the maple sap. Because maple sap is about 2% sugar, all right? Finished syrup is 67% sugar. So you got to do something to get the water out of it, right? So the first step is using this machine to take out about 80% of the water.
Wow, that's a lot of water.
Yep, and what that does is it saves us time and wood when we have to actually boil it down. So we take it to about 8% sugar, and then it gets pumped upstairs into those tanks you see upstairs.
I see. So, when it gets pumped into those tanks, do you just bottle it and ship it?
No, once it's in the tanks, it actually runs through the evaporator, which is the big machine out here that has the steam coming out of it.
I see. Let's go see that.
All right.
It's pretty hot, so I would be careful. Yikes! This reverse osmosis machine is hot. Yeah, I need to take off my coat. Why is it so hot, Mark?
So this is a wood-fired evaporator, so it burns wood at up to 2,000 degrees. And that heat is used to boil the sap and get the water out of the sap until it gets towards syrup. So it just boils and boils and boils, and all the water comes off in the steam that you see. So we just keep measuring it, measuring the density, and when it gets to the right point, then we know it's syrup, that we boiled enough water.
Wow, Mark, this process seems kind of complicated, but very useful. Wow, at this rate, maple syrup's even fresher than honey.
Yeah.
No wonder it's my close second favorite food, eh, Reno? Yeah, I guess. So, How long does it sit on the shelf, or do you sell it yourselves?
We sell everything pretty much ourselves, but it'll last on the shelf unopened for up to a year and a half, 2 years.
Whoa!
If you open it and put it in the fridge, it'll last for 6 months to a year.
Yep. See, Poober, there are many upsides to maple syrup. It's made from an all-natural reverse osmosis process, has no artificial flavors, and it lasts almost as long as honey does. It's one of the few foods that doesn't spoil. Wow, Reino. I can't believe maple syrup is so amazing. I'm glad you brought me up here. But this reverse osmosis machine is hot. But before we leave it, there's one thing I want to do. Do you have any maple syrup to taste test?
Yeah, we do, absolutely. You can get all the samples you want up here from Jennifer. She'll give you everything you want. There's 4 different grades of maple syrup, remember.
Yep.
So you gotta try every single one, alright?
Yep.
Golden, amber, dark, and very dark.
Yep. I think you'll like all of them, Poober. Oh, well, thanks, Mark, for the tour.
Absolutely, anytime, guys.
Oh, great. Well, see, I want to go get some samples, Poober? I guess. But I also want to get off this reverse osmosis machine. Evaporator, I mean. It's really hot. Hi. Alright, Poober, this is Jennifer. She is also one of the owners of Soak Up Farms. I just brought my friend Poober up here from Stuffies, see how maple syrup was made. And in my personal opinion, it was pretty amazing. It's amazing how some tree sap, seemingly tasteless tree sap, turned into this delicious, savory liquid. How much time does it take to make all this stuff? Round trip.
Well, it takes about 40 to 50 gallons of raw sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup.
Whoa! Those are some numbers I like. Yep, and I got enough maple syrup to last stuffed in for months, and including you with your insatiable appetite. So, I think our mission is finally complete, Poober. Yep, it is, Reino, except for one thing. Just gotta... Yes. Yeah, we'll take your entire shelf. Poober. Poober, are you seeing this scarf? It looks amazing, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. I just hope that my jacket, is in as great condition as that scarf. Oh, Casey, go. What?
Oh, hey guys, I just found this cloth on the floor and I wanted to know if any of it was yours.
My jacket! What happened to it?
Well, let's just say it took a little bit of stomping.
That was my favorite jacket. And in my favorite color. The only thing that could help me feel better now is...
Oh, no. Don't eat out all the maple syrup and honey like you did last time.
Yeah, otherwise the smaller bottles won't even make it back to Stuffies. Now, I'm just joking, guys. I know I can be a bit obsessive over maple syrup at times, but they're my favorite foods. And honestly, foods to share. I want everybody to have a taste. Beautiful sentiment, Poober. Well, I guess all is well that ends well.
Speaking of tasting, want to get some pizza?
Oh, yeah. I'll bring the jacket. Whoops.
Stuffies, come on, let's go, Stuffies. Alright, whoa, Stuffies. Just can't wait for Stuffies. Oh yeah, Stuffies. Yeah.
What do you do to keep your skills pretty? Whoa.
Looks like the rolls are here.
I can't wait. Hey, Poober, today was a pretty great day. Even though I did get licked by a cow. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was pretty gross, I have to admit.
Well, at least you got your honey, and we got maple syrup and Stuffies, so, it was a pretty great day.
All well that ends well.
Yeah, I think we already said that.
And here's the second roll.
Oh,
Buffalo chicken. That's my chow, guys. Wait, you're going to eat all of that by yourself? Well, the farts are going to be numerous. Exploring photos of the International Center of Photography. That's next time on the Weekday Report.